So why are we here today? It's very simple. I I have been involved in NGO charity work, human development, social development all my life. I have never been a host of any show before. I'm not a media person. I'm a social worker, NGO professional. But I ran into an amazing vision, a dream that I thought needs to be given a voice, needs to be given hearing, needs to be implemented. And that's where I belong. When I see positive, creative ideas that can do more for the world than we have it now, then I am all out for it. So when I ran into Charlene somewhere last year, and she told me about the vision of It's Just Us Productions, I said, whichever way, I want to be a part of this. So it's been a long journey coming, but I am glad that we are here today where we are actually going to unveil and make this show happen. So you are here today because we are unveiling something very special, dear to our hearts. It's not just dear to us, it should be dear to you. We have a YouTube channel. We're going to be told later ways that you can uh, listen to the show on radio and all of that. So welcome to this unveiling launching ceremony, and we are glad to have all of you. And please share the story with everyone. Uh, Everything you hear here, we give you our permission to share with everyone so the story can be carried on. Welcome to It's Just Us launch. You're welcome. Now that I have given you the purpose of gathering, I am going to invite the vision bearer to give us a keynote address to tell us what is this whole vision about and the opportunity to present to Africans on the continent, Ghanaians, and in the world. So let's welcome Charlene Bowden to give us the keynote address.
Thank you again, Paul. Can't express enough how excited I am for this moment. I am so thankful again for you all being here. It's just us. Many people have asked me, where did you get this name from and what does this mean? It's just us is just me. It's really just me. It's someone who has had some life experiences, living here in Atlanta and with my immediate family, as well as branching out into the world and having experiences and seeing people doing some great things. And like myself, I wanted to share what I was doing with other people, but didn't have the platforms to do it. I just saw people doing some amazing things in the world, and me being a woman who, there are many who have the same story, but me being a woman who was a single mom, raising 3 daughters by myself, just felt like that was the story within itself. It's no one else could possibly have the same experiences as me. I struggled to branch out and to connect with other people because I felt like I was in an island. But then at the same time, I needed to hear more, to see more, and to understand more. And as I was thinking about that and just started to pay attention and listen to the stories of other people and all of the wonderful things that they were doing in the world, I realized, oh, it's no longer me. It's us. It's just us. We're all having these same experiences. There are other single moms who are raising their children, doing some great work. There are people who are inventing and creating and becoming. And so then I found that everybody, this is my story, everybody needs to know about this. How do we get everybody to know what others are doing in the world who may not have access to larger platforms where they can share their stories? The power was within me to be an agent of opportunity and to create a platform where people could come to share their authentic stories in an effort to help motivate and encourage others just like me to keep moving forward and to continue to become and to create. And on my journey, I've traveled throughout different parts of the world. I'm not a world traveler, so, you know, in comparison to others, but I have had my opportunity to go and to have other experiences. And my most noted one, especially as it pertains to this occasion, was my opportunity to travel to Ghana, West Africa in December of 2019. And I shared with, I was introduced rather to Paul, and just shared with him the story of It's Just Us and how important it was to me that these stories continue, that these stories can be shared on as large a scale as we can, because they're so important and they can be life-changing. They're definitely informational. So I met Paul, shared this with him, and Paul got the vision. He got the passion, he got the energy. And we have been talking and communicating and just growing in this experience together since 2019, and that has brought us here today. My trip to Ghana was to build relationships, to build bridges, to do missions work, and to get the stories firsthand, because sometimes they get turned around in translation, in transmission rather. And we don't always hear the backstories, the stories of how people got to where they are today. I call it the middle story. I often hear, well, I was born in this environment, and then I see them on the big stage. It's like, I don't know how you got there. How many no's did you hear? And what happened when you heard no? And what did you do with those yeses? That's what we do here with It's Just Us. We get the middle story, the authentic story, because that's where I kept getting stuck. And I know that I wasn't the only one, and I'm not the only one who gets stuck in the middle story. So I went to Ghana. I saw the sounds. I heard the sounds. I saw the vision. I wanted to bring everything from Ghana back with me to the United States. And I couldn't put all of that into my suitcase and bring it home. But It's Just Us Ghana Live is that opportunity for us to bring, I'm going to personalize it for a minute, Hilda and Paul. It's an opportunity for me to bring the experiences that I received on the continent and bring it to this part of my world and to the whole world. I just believe the whole world is going to tune in and to see and to experience the beauty, the wonder, the awe that is of the Ghanaian people, the people on the continent of Africa and throughout the diaspora. And I'm so excited for this time. And I'm going to stop talking because I'm doing more crying now than talking anyway. But I am so excited about this opportunity. And I'm so thankful that you all are here again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that passionate. I don't know how we clap on Zoom, but maybe we can also snap a finger for that insightful, passionate introduction. So all of us is us, it's just us. We want to share our stories. We want to inspire ourselves. We are in a difficult place in the world right now, with everything almost going negative. And as a people, we don't seem to, of color, we don't seem to see ourselves as one people. So I'm hoping that before the show comes to an end, we'll give opportunity for people to ask questions and make comments before we end. But we can't do this. We have come this far because there is that big creativity in the next person going to speak. Like I said, I have never hosted anything before, but it took coaching from someone who has put creativity as a main course and career. So let's invite Hilda Willis to officially open the show because she has cooked the show in the oven herself. Hilda, over to you.
Thank you, Paul. Woo! So I just want to take a second to say how proud I am to be in concert, in partnership in this work with Charlene. I have had the pleasure of taking this journey with her and looking at you on the screen, your unadulterated passion for this work is amazing to me. An ordinary human being, the way we have set life up to look at who we are, doing extraordinary things. And so you are an extraordinary woman, really. And I am so glad that I am a part of this platform, a part of this journey. And for you to go to Ghana and find Paul and bring him here. Oh, goodness gracious above. You are anointed for this appointment. And it is wonderful to have us doing this with you. You have the fire, you have the energy. And so you may not be a host, but you are a host. By the very definition of host is, that is who you are. You set the table, Paul, for so many people to eat. And so I just have to say that. We don't believe in happenstance. So you're in Ghana and Charlene is in Atlanta and I'm in the foothills of North Carolina. And through this platform, we're here sharing our lives, sharing our stories, which is the foundation of the show. We did it with ourselves. And so we're inviting people to do the very same thing that we did and discovering ourselves and finding out where we were aligned and learning from each other and growing with each other. And so it leads me to talk about the different people who've already agreed to be a part of this journey with us. And so we will continue to weave a story that will be shared by Ghanaians, other Africans across the globe, African Americans, or what we like to say, Africans that landed in other parts of the world through this thing we know called diaspora. We are connecting and bringing who we are back together. And like Charlene talked about, understanding that we have so many shared experiences. And without knowing that middle story, we oftentimes get stuck in a place where we wonder, well, what happened and what if and how come? And so whether the guests are going to be local or regional, national or international, they're meeting here. It's Just Us, Ghana Live. They're meeting here at It's Just Us, Ghana Live. Educators, entertainers, entrepreneurs, politicians here willing to share their stories. We're doing something very unique. It was Paul's idea. So It's Just Us Ghana Live is starting as a radio show. And we have hopes and dreams and plans that it will grow into a multimedia experience explosion, right? But we're starting with the radio show. And It's Just Us. First program was It's Just Us Radio that started in 2008. We are partnering, if you will, with Caribbean Voice Radio. So we say Carib Voice Radio. The founder of that is Aubrey Padmore. So where he hosted, he didn't host in terms of the host was Charlene, but he agreed to have the radio show on his platform. So he is the founder and the CEO of this radio show, where now It's Ghana Live will have a voice on that platform. And we're excited about that. And so when we were talking about where we're going to start, Paul said, but what if people want to see the guests? And had this idea of people hearing the radio show, but for those who wanted to see, creating a YouTube channel where people can go back and then look at who they heard on the radio, or they can watch it there on YouTube, right? So I move a lot. So the radio part really speaks to me, but then the thought of me actually being able to go back and look at the expressions and see the mannerisms and the interaction between the guest and Paul was an amazing idea to me. So It's Just Us Gone Alive has a YouTube channel where people will be able to see the radio interview, and they will be able to hear it 2 times a week on Carib Voice Radio. And we will be announcing those time slots very soon. That's where you're going to experience us, how you're going to experience us. And I'm excited. Oh, sorry. This is an amazing work. This is an amazing anointed work. I'm going to be quiet. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you very much. I see Benji snapping fingers for you. I'm sure that everyone listening is snapping fingers for you. This is us. This is us. And like both of them have said, I want to know your story. You want to know my story. Why should you know my story and I know your story? That is what this whole world is about. Because I tell you my story and I tell you about my village and I tell you about the trees and the forest and the gold and the resources you find there. This is how all of human connection started. Then you tell me that you have the word of God, you have this, you have snow, you have that. That is how we connect, and then we begin. So in the beginning, Africans, people of color, we have always had the resources with us on this continent. We have every resource you can think of. But we know of an incident that happened in history that took all of the people that discovered our resources. Gold, cocoa, bauxite never have any meaning until human beings give it meaning. So when our ancestors discovered these things, they were using them as part of their like accessories. But this skill somehow was passed on through storytelling. Our ancestors would tell stories. They would share stories. So in Ghana, those of us from Ghana know very popular by the fireside, where we try to mimic the African way, the Ghanaian way of transferring knowledge, sharing stories, and telling people, making people learn from these stories. Now, when I had this vision, the thing that comes to me is our great-grandfathers told a lot of stories, but we couldn't document the stories. We couldn't convert them into books. We couldn't pass it on to the generations that are here. So we had a big pot. The pot was broken. Our ancestors were taken, and the pot was split on the sea. So when we want to relate or go back to the African knowledge, because we have no record of it, most times people say, we don't know what we are saying. And a lot of our identity, who we are as a people, is lost by this means. A lot of our brothers have taken to doing illegal things like cybercrime and all of that because they have lost who they are. They don't know who they are. We have brothers over the ocean in the US, in everywhere, who are doing great things in entertainment, great things in medicine, great things in engineering, great things in mechanics. But we are not sharing our stories the African way, so we can inspire each other, so we can act together and take the resources on this continent and turn it to what the world needs. So we lost a great hero, but we have to bridge that gap. We must never let this symbol die. We must go to every African, no matter where they are, and say, it's just us. Let's share our stories. Let's talk about ourselves. Let's accept ourselves as who we are and bridge that gap. This is the story we are here to make happen. This is what It's Just Us Ghana Live will bring. On this note, I'll still call our creative director to actually call It's Just Us Ghana Live open. Then we come to questions.
So, are all minds and hearts clear about what we are here to do today? We are the ones that we are waiting for. God be with us as we not only announce, but begin. It's just us, gone alive. Welcome, come and be well.
Thank you, and congratulations to all of us. We actually made this happen. Now, we will take questions from our guests, from our journalists. Any questions, please unmute your mic and ask your questions or make any comments. Who is starting first?
No questions or comments, any concerns?
Yes.
Any advice, any wishes?
I think Benji is asking the first or making the first statement.
Yes, well, I'm not a journalist. As I introduce myself, in all the meetings I've been in some high level meetings, and around in some boardrooms, and I've never felt so small when I just heard the vision. It's just overwhelming, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I just joined maybe 6 months ago, and being a part of the executive committee, it's just us in the community in the United States. But I really understand the vision and passion of Charlene and also Hilda, and I'm just excited for what's going to take place in the world. And it's actually humbling being part of this. Not only am I a warden, but I'm a pastor, and I've never been so humbled to the point, and you see all that on my wall, but that doesn't compare to nothing in what I just heard coming from y'all, Paul, Hilda, and Charlene. And so the executive board over here, I really understand we have to get busy. We're behind the 8 ball. Golly, we're behind the 8 ball. So I'm sorry. So it's just great to be a part of it. I can't wait. When in terms of the YouTube, the first interview and the first production, when would that kick off? When would that start?
Okay.
What's the projected date?
Yes, thank you. Charlene, do you want to answer this?
Sure. I don't have my calendar in front of me, Paul. The first interview will be, if I'm not mistaken, October 30th, and please confirm that for me, Paul. I don't have my calendar in front of me.
Yes, October 30th.
2 weeks out.
Yes. And the YouTube channel, I'm going to share the YouTube channel with all of you in a minute. So you are able to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you click the notification button as well. So anytime we put it out, you can see. Like Hilda also mentioned, it will be playing on radio twice in the States, so you are able to listen. But the YouTube will always be there. Subscribe, share with your friends, and constantly you could be able to watch the show. Before the show comes to an end, I'll share the YouTube channel. Any other question?
Yeah, are there going to be, do we look forward in going on location, not only in the studio, but outside the studio, where those of us in the States who perhaps have never been, or where I hope through this, I'll be able to go to Ghana. Do y'all intend to go on location to that level where we can see the culture and see the youth? Is that in the plans also?
Can I address that first?
Yes, please go on.
So thank you for your question. For the initial pilot, not so. Paul is on location. And so, so he's not in the studio, right? But in terms of the pilot, the first focus is to bring people in that will help us imagine and engage our imagination, not only through where they're from, but their stories, so that we really want people to connect initially to the story, to understand what we have in common and how we can learn from one another. And as we move out of the pilot, what we are claiming, what is already ours, when I said to expand them, to expand this platform, that would include where we are claiming just some of the things that you are asking about. But we need to start as a pilot, allow people to see what it is that we do and how we're doing it, and invite people to join us in every way across the board, including sponsorship opportunities and garnering more financial support so that we can grow the platform to include, again, all of what you're talking about on the continent and in the US, because we have been on location and done many things through It's Just Us in our talk shows. We want to grow Ghana Live to include that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So I have shared a YouTube channel as well, and you can all like it so you don't miss any of our shows. Any more questions from any of our guests or journalists? Okay, Modern Ghana, your hand is up. You can ask your question. Unmute your mic is already unmuted.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask, today is the launch. So what should we expect from this organization in order to get the people on board to tell their stories? What is the next line of action?
Okay.
When you say to get people on board, do you mean our listeners?
Yes, and how we will be able to bridge the gap that Africa or Ghana will be able to tell their story to the other side of the world.
Well, we definitely have a lineup. We've already started taping. And so we will be marketing those interviews and telling everyone who the folks are and where they come from. However, anyone who has a story that they want to tell, because as I said earlier, this is about the stories of local individuals, regional, national, and international. So you will have an opportunity, if you want to be a guest on the show, to contact Paul and say, hey, this is who I am, or this is what I would like to see. So we can gather all of that data to make sure that we are giving the people what they want in terms of the experiences that they want to have with us and to share with us. So whether you are a listener who want to know more about a particular subject, contact us and let us know. If you are someone who would like to come on as a guest, contact us and let us know. There is a team behind this team that will be coordinating all of those efforts.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions from our journalists or our guests or comments? Anyone else? Okay, so I have shared the link with everyone. I have shared the YouTube channel with all of you. Please like the YouTube channel, click the notification button, share with your contacts, share with your friends. Also follow us. If you go to Charlene, we share the website of IJU Productions. In Ghana, you can go to phgconsultllc.com. We have a dedicated page on our project for IJU Ghana Live. So you can contact us through that channel. You can contact PhD Consult on all social media channels, LinkedIn, Facebook, and you are able to find us that way. Once you're on this Zoom call as well, you have your access to me directly and all of us. We have shared Charlie have shared all the websites for PSG Consults and IJU Productions. So you can find us that way. You can read about us, send us messages, refer any contacts who may want to share their outstanding, inspiring stories with everybody in the world. Let's tell our stories. Let's make ourselves proud. Let's get out of the COVID mood and still go ahead and do great and connect. If there is no questions, I don't see any hands up. We'll come to closing remarks from Charlene and Hilda, then I will call it a day. So closing remarks, Charlene.
I cannot express my thanks enough for everyone being here today. It means more than you know. I really, really appreciate it. I'm so looking forward to us officially launching this show, and for you to hear the stories of our amazing guests that will come through the IJU Ghana platform. Again, visit our websites. All of our social media links are on the websites if you missed that information earlier. Follow us, like us, tweet us, link with us, all those social media terms that I'm still figuring out. But yes, we hope that you will, and also share those opportunities with others for them to link and to follow and to join with us as well. Thank you again for being here. I'm honored. Thank you.
Right. Creative director.
Ditto and Ashe. So I want to say for my closing remarks to remember that this is for us and about us, and it's bigger than us. This us that's right here, we are clear that this is bigger than us, that the us that we want to serve is you. Yeah, we are our brothers and sisters keepers over here with It's Just Us. Thank you.
All right, on that note, I am going to be your favorite host for IJU Ghana Live. And like I said earlier, we have unique stories. All the resources of this world is given to us as Africans, people of color. It is time for us to connect. If you're in the diaspora watching this, if you're at home watching this, we want you to come up. You don't have to be that big star out there. I mean, your compelling story, the everyday challenge you go to, everyday life as an artist, this is what we want to hear. Let's bridge that gap. It's just us. Thank you for being a part of this.
Don't get blinded by the light from fame. We're all ordinary people at the end of the day. We make decisions, some good, some bad, but we all pushing for things we never had. Ordinary.